No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
We conservatives believe in the rule of law because we know that when the law is enforced, our rights are protected. That's why we're doing such a big effort at this Cpac to talk about the Bill of Rights. But I also want to mention one thing, and I know this might sound like a little bit of a downer, but we also believe in property rights, and this is a private hotel. And we believe in the rule of law, so we need to comply with the laws of this county that we're in. But a private hotel, just like your house, gets to set its own rules. Carly? Our Cpac director?
Well, as Dan mentioned, we are in a private facility, and we do want to be respectful of the ordinances that they have as their private property. So please, everyone, when you're in the ballroom, when you're seated, you should still be wearing a mask. So if everybody can go ahead, work on that. I know it's not the most fun.
You have the right. You have the right to set the own rules in your own house, and we're borrowing somebody else's house, so we need to comply with their rules. So thank you all for putting on your masks. I wear a mask when I'm in the halls, and we're going to comply with their rules.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good conference.
I thought that was pretty chicken shit, right? The guy hands the microphone over to her, in respecting law and order, we have this statement, and hands the microphone over the autistic girl, right? He's like hoping that the people won't boo the autistic girl. So here, you tell him. Oh man. But that should be the reaction from all of us, I don't want to tell you what to do. I see this thing as over, and yet they still pushing, vaccine. Gotta get vaccinated. But it's not, right? It's not like this main thing on the news. For a year, we watched nothing but COVID-19, deaths, more deaths, vaccination. We watched that for a solid year. Hour after hour. I mean, I couldn't fit another news story in there, right? But now, oh, oh, look, we got this and we got that, we got this. It's not what it is, what we've been informed that it was. Otherwise, we'd still be, otherwise, all those people on January 6th at Capitol Hill, they'd all be dead now. Because none of them were wearing masks, and they were in the most confined, cramped spaces you can possibly imagine. Okay? And we haven't heard of a single one of them. This is a super spreader event. We haven't heard of a single one of them testing positive, right? Which you know that they would be like, oh, look, they got sick doing this. They would. And I'm really surprised we haven't heard that because it seems like that's the kind of thing they would lie about too, right? So I have this interview with the supposed, the person that they call a leader of the Proud Boys, right? I have an interview with him, and in the interview, it's admitted that he's an informant for the FBI. And they continue to act like he's a leader of these people, which he's not a leader of the people of this particular group. He's an FBI snitch, an FBI stoolie. He's not one of them. Okay, he's pretending in order so that he can get a paycheck from the FBI, and in my opinion, it's just. And then they continue to question him as if he's like, this guy that's involved with these people, and he knows everything about them, and he's gonna tell us all about them because that's what he does. Is he tells everybody everything about these people. And we're supposed to give him some kind of credibility, right? They're doing this interview with him, and they say, oh, well, he's an FBI informant. Well, then he has no credibility. Everything he's talking to you is your same propaganda bullshit line. So I have that video coming up here in a minute. I have a couple other videos. I have Donald Trump Jr. at Cpac, which is like an 11-minute speech, which I have all cut out, but I probably will only play like 4 minutes of it or so. The first 4 minutes of it, he says some interesting things. I have online predators during COVID-19 story. I have a Kennedy video clip, which I know you love Kennedy. Oh, and Washington State Supreme Court has ruled that the drug laws are unconstitutional. And I thought you would probably want to hear that. Good news, everyone.
Tonight we're learning that hundreds of thousands of drug convictions in our state might be thrown out.
Yeah, that's because the Washington Supreme Court today struck down the state's felony drug possession law, calling it unconstitutional. Matt Lorch has been tracking the ruling and the reaction tonight from the newsroom for us. Matt.
Aliana, the ruling came in the case of a woman from Spokane. Cops found a small bag of meth in her pocket. Well, she said she was wearing jeans she got from a friend and the drugs were not hers. Today, the state Supreme Court ruled Washington's drug possession law violated her due process and others because it criminalizes passive, unknowing conduct. In every other state, prosecutors have to prove someone knowingly or intentionally possessed drugs. That was not the case in Washington until this ruling. The 5 justices striking down the law, saying it doesn't protect a letter carrier who unwittingly delivers a package of drugs, or someone whose roommate hides drugs in a common living area, or someone who picks up the wrong bag at the airport. According to the justices, they could all be convicted under the old law, and those people should not have the burden of proving they're innocent. Some in law enforcement blasted the decision. Former Pierce County Sheriff Paul Pastor posted this photo of someone who overdosed, saying police will no longer be able to take enforcement action, adding the ruling will aid, abet, and facilitate the ongoing slow-motion suicide of thousands. So what does this mean for previous convictions? King County Prosecutor Dan Satterberg released a statement saying, in part, we are analyzing the impact and potential radioactive application of this decision. We also spoke to a former U.S. attorney about what happens to all those drug possession cases.
Essentially, the court's going to say, look, do we have cases in which persons have gone to jail for a longer period of time or in jail only because they innocently, passively, and unknowingly possess drugs?
Governor Inslee was asked about the court's decision today. He said he's not sure how many inmates could be released as a result. The ACLU saying tonight it's going to be doing a whole lot of work to get those convictions vacated and off people's records. Live in the newsroom, Matt Lorch, Q13 News.
All right, hi everybody. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie, and tonight I have numerous videos for you. This is a call-in show, so if you want me to talk, if you want to hear stuff, you'll have to kind of ask me. Otherwise, I'm here to play videos and take fat dabs and take phone calls. So if you want to call, the numbers right there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397, 805-MOX-NEWS. And I would love to take a dab with you. I really would. But it's Dabs for Donations Friday, which means I need to get a donation, and then I will do a dab in the honor, in the name of that person who gave a donation. It's very simple, people. You know, I can't explain it more completely than that. If you give a donation, I will take a dab in your honor. It's easy to make a donation. You can go to moxnews.com, or there's clickable links in the text body of this video. And I also have clickable links in the chat of the video too. So it should take less than 2 minutes to give a little something back. And trust me when I say it's very, very appreciated, because Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like you. And that being said, the last 3 weeks in a row, I have gotten a Bitcoin donation. Not this week yet. Actually, I haven't really gotten any donations this week. But the last 3 weeks, we've gotten a Bitcoin donation, like $10, $10, and $25, which is very nice. And I would love to make it 4 weeks in a row. Since, you know, before this last 3 weeks, it had been like 3.5 years since I got a Bitcoin donation. So if you are so inclined, you know, a little something something back would be awfully nice of you, and I will show my appreciation by taking a bong hit in your honor. Again, this is a call-in show, people. The number's right there on the screen, 805-669-6397. And it's a big, you know, the people are a big part of the show. I mean, it's probably why we do a call-in show, so the people can be part of it, you know. I know you're used to just chatting in the chat box, but I'm not very good at that. Oh, and I have a video tonight about Oliver North talking about Iran. And you probably can't get a bigger expert on Iran than Oliver North. In case you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Online predators. What video would you like to see next? You want to see the interview with the Proud Boys leader, the FBI informant? Or you want the BBC story about Biden bombing Iraq, successful bombing of Syria? Or let's see, Donald Trump Jr. at Cpac. You want to see that? Online predators, Kennedy. What do you guys want to see? You tell me. I would love to take a bong hit. I can tell you that. So I'm going to go check my mail to make sure we didn't get a 4th week in a row of Bitcoin donations, which would be really cool. And I play a story for you. I go ahead and I'll play the Donald Trump Jr. speech for you at the Cpac. I'm not going to play it all. But the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes of it are very interesting, I thought. So I will play that for you, because I wouldn't waste your time otherwise. Donald Trump, number 8. And we're looking for a donation. It's Dabs for Donations Friday, so that would be super nice of you. I'd love to do a dab in your honor.
How's it going, Cpac? Or I heard someone earlier phrase it a little bit better. Tpac. That's what it feels like, guys. Well, first and foremost, it's awesome to be here. It's great to see this kind of enthusiasm, and it's great to actually be in a full room. You know, honestly, guys, what I see in Florida right now is exemplary of the Republican Party, right? This is a state, like the party is, that has open schools, open businesses, and open churches. What we've seen in some of the more left-leaning states is exactly the opposite. The only thing that they have open is open borders. And it doesn't work, guys. In the first 30 days of Joe Biden's presidency, all of the things that I said would come true in the book Liberal Privilege that I wrote last summer are happening. We listened to months of media telling us that Joe Biden, he's a moderate, don't worry. He's not going to end energy. He's not going to end pipelines, which is partially correct. He's not going to end Russian pipelines. He's only going to end American pipelines. The Russian ones are just fine. They're going to cave to China. No, that was never going to happen. Of course it happened. You think that $1 billion investment in Hunter came for free? No, the Chinese have a great return on investment. But guys, more importantly, who would have thought that within 33 days we'd be bombing the Middle East again? I would have. Oh no, guys, come on, the military-industrial complex, I'm surprised it took them 33 days. I guess they waited till the first month, so they couldn't say that was part of the first 30, but it was only shortly thereafter where we started bombing the Middle East. Speaking of bombing the Middle East, have you seen Liz Cheney's poll numbers? No, listen, the one thing I'll say for Liz Cheney is I'm sure she has a lot of bipartisan support, because if there's one thing that she and Joe Biden definitely want to do, it's bomb the Middle East. Everything else is a disaster. Everything else is just rhino policies, the kinds of policies that put the Republican Party in a position where they needed a Donald Trump. No, seriously. Liz Cheney and her politics are only slightly less popular than her father is at a quail hunt. What? Fact checkers, please have at it. Fact check true. Right? Listen, like I said, Liz Cheney, she hates Donald Trump and his policies because her family has a long history of friendly fire. But she also hates them because she's tied to an establishment that has done nothing but fail us time and time again. You've heard the rhetoric from some of them over the last couple of weeks, and now you've seen that change very quickly. Because if there's one thing the Republican Party has been really good at over the last few decades, is snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. They've caved to every special interest. They've caved to corporate America. They've caved and bowed to the radical left that hates their guts, hates their values, and hates their freedoms. Lincoln Project Liz, as I'd like to call her, is the leader of that failed movement. And if we want to go back to losing, if we want to go back to an America Last policy, we should be following that. But I don't, and I don't think anyone in this room does either. So, you know what, guys? The first 30 days has been a disaster. The lies the media told you wouldn't happen are all happening. But hey, at least they have a diverse cabinet. Right? No, yeah, it's very diverse. That's what we saw, right? What is the policy of the SBA? Well, first and foremost, we appointed a woman. Well, that's wonderful. Is she competent? Because there's competent women and there's incompetent women, just like there's competent men and incompetent men. We've seen that. We know that to be a fact. But when you don't have policy to address the incompetence and think you can get away with it by just talking about diversity blindly, it's sort of a problem, isn't it? This month alone, they've banned the Muppets. Right? I mean, if there's things that you thought were sort of above cancellation, you would be wrong. There is nothing the radical left won't cancel. Hasbro now wants a gender-neutral Mr. Potato Head. These are the issues of our times, folks.
Hasbro does not want a gender-neutral Mr. Potato Head. Hasbro has introduced a gender-neutral Mr. Potato Head. And I think it's a long time coming. I mean, I think Mr. Potato Head had like a TV show, a cartoon for a little while. And I remember there being a Mrs. Potato Head, and she was walking around in a little skirt and stuff. You know, maybe it's just some kind of thing that I'm making up, but I seem to remember Mrs. Potato Head. So I don't see where there's a problem having a gender-neutral Mr. Potato Head that you can dress up as either a male Mr. Potato Head or a female Mr. Potato Head. They're not saying that that it's like a not cisgender Mr. Potato. These people are cray. And the most important thing is not to let them make you a Mr. Potato Head. So you know. Because that's what they want more than anything. I have more videos. I have no callers as of yet, as far as I know. But I do have more videos. We don't have a caller, right? No callers. No callers as far as I know. As far as you know. So if you want to call, the number's right there on the screen. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep playing videos and hope that someone gives me a donation so that I can take a dab. I don't make the rules, people. It's Dabs for Donations Friday. If I don't get a donation, I'm not going to be able to have a dab. That would suck. That would suck. So, I'll play another video for you, and we'll see if someone... Oh, hold on. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Mr. Potato Head. I've always been gender neutral because potatoes don't have willies. Potatoes don't have penises or vaginas. Sometimes they have mold and green or black spots.
And eyes. They have eyes.
Yes, I remember when I was a boy and people would stick all kinds of things on me like eyeballs and noses. Mr. Potato Head has no boundaries. He is the omnipotent potatoid of America. Into the arms of America, I come to free the people of their bonds and restore the democracy to its righteous place amongst the pantheon of demigods. Michael.
Okay.
So, how long does that thing go on? About 3 days?
What thing?
Cpac?
What thing?
Cpac?
It'll go until Sunday, it sounds like. It used to go like all week long. I don't know what's going on with it. It seems to have gotten shorter and shorter. Maybe it's a COVID thing or something. But over the years, it seems to have gotten... it used to be like 5 or 6 days, and now it seems like it's 3 to 4 days.
I just saw more Cpac footage than I've ever seen in a row. You know, I think every time I've seen a Cpac convention.
I couldn't resist. He's just pounding on Liz Cheney, man. I despise Liz Cheney. I just couldn't resist, you know.
Yeah, you know, it seems like he's running for president in 8 years or so. You know, he wouldn't be up there doing that. I wonder what the Donald has to say. Hey, son, go to the Cpac and talk for me. You know?
No, Donald's supposed to talk on Sunday.
Oh, you know, well, I'm wondering, would that make headlines? I bet it would make
That's
headlines.
pretty much all they've been talking about on the news for the last 3 days, is that Trump is going to talk. Trump is going to speak! Oh my God! They're letting him speak! They're letting him speak! How can they let him speak? And they keep asking, like senators, is it appropriate for Donald Trump to speak at Cpac? like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's the leader of the damn party, man!
Yeah, it's kind of like having, to those people, or a lot of people, it's kind of like having Benedict Arnold talk, you know. Not to me, because, you know, I heard most of what Don Jr. said, and he's pretty correct. It's like, you know, the cabinet is quite diverse, and you know, things are happening just like they warned they were going to happen, and
just like they said wasn't going to happen.
Right, yeah. And so, you know, the isolationism policy is over, and now we're going international again. That means the war machine is gearing up.
It's gearing up seriously, dude. I see it gearing up. They want to go. They want troops in Africa tomorrow.
What the fuck for? What's happening in Africa?
Oh, they got some kind of fucking stupid Boko Haram story where fucking girls were stolen. Yeah.
Well,
think of the children. What?
It's not a stupid story. It's a sad story.
It's a fucking stupid story that's being used as propaganda to push for war. Okay? Maybe it's not a stupid story, but it's being used in a fucked up way, which I cannot stand.
Yeah. Well, you know, look what they just did with the so-called insurrection. They used that to change America, basically, to wall off the Capitol building and make everybody nervous about terrorists and stuff. So anything that they can use, they will use. And, you know, AFRICOM is a big outfit. They must get, a couple billion a year just for AFRICOM. And so the Pentagon's in charge now. Here we go.
I can't stand it, dude. It's really, really messed up. And you see these people come into power, and now earlier today I saw a thing saying that it was, I saw one of the commentators saying that this is the third and fourth term of Barack Obama, right? And I've been saying for a couple of weeks now that it's that Barack Obama was considered the third and fourth term of George W. Bush. Okay, so if we're looking at Biden being the third and fourth term of Barack Obama, then what you're saying actually is the fifth and sixth term of George W. Bush and Dick Cheney.
Yeah, well, that's a very accurate way to look at it, because nothing changes. The puppet, you change the head on the puppet, but the machine just keeps on rolling. You know?
Well, you can change the pieces on the Mr. Potato Head and call it a Mrs. Potato Head if that's what you want, but it's still the same fucking potato.
Well, considering that kind of stuff, I mean, to change the subject, I'm really against indoctrinating young. If you're not old enough to vote, why would you be old enough to choose your gender?
Well, I don't think that's the point. I think the point is little girls want to play with the girl potato head, I think.
No. Fuck the potatoes. I'm talking about gender, you know, Rand Paul and the gender woman guy, the undersecretary of fucking fuckwit, who's talking about, you know, well, gender studies is a very complex issue, and if you want, I can come to your office and discuss it. But she didn't answer Rand Paul's question, which was, do you really think that adolescents are capable and responsible enough to make choices about sex changes at their age, and she totally avoided that question. So that's a very legitimate question, and I don't know why it's prejudicial or you're picking on people if you ask that question. That is a human question.
It's very strange that it's any of your goddamn business.
Mine personally,
Yours, Rand Paul's, whoever has a problem with it. You know, I mean, it's like there's parents. These people have parents. They have their own minds. If they're teenagers, they have their own minds. I guarantee you that. You know.
well, we all know there's plenty of screwed up parents, and some of them may push their children into.
I think you're right. I think some of them may push their children into being something that they're not. I think a lot of parents do that, actually.
I think human beings should get used to their own psyches for the first 17, 18 years before they even consider making a decision like that, you know?
I don't think that people should, alter their bodies until they're, completely formed. You know what I mean? You have to let your body do,
Okay, we're on the same
yeah,
page.
get at least to its complete hormones or whatever. I mean, if you mess with it before you're fully developed, there is a problem with that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just don't want to see the world get any more unnatural than it already is. As a matter of fact, we need to pull back from the unnatural parts of modern society and get back to being natural, like fuck the vaccines and fuck the sex changes and fuck the illegal wars and fuck the for-profit wars and all that unnatural stuff.
Right. Okay. But look, you don't need to throw sex changes in there, okay? Because it has nothing to fucking do with you. Okay. So let people do their lives. There's this thing called freedom.
These are children.
Okay, but that's not what you said. You said fuck the sex changes. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, thank you for correcting me because I'm really just talking about children because that's the issue that was between Rand Paul and the lady, man, whoever the fuck it is. And I hate to sound like Dwayne, but we're on the same page. People should develop and go through puberty and get used to their bodies and their minds before they make those decisions. And then
they can make those decisions. There just shouldn't be surgery that goes on until your body is fully developed. Because otherwise, then you're really fucking with something that's already, a design that needs to be fully developed before you can fuck with it, in my opinion.
Well, the lady that was kind of halfway debating with Rand Paul was talking about interrupting the puberty process.
Well, see, that's there's something there that's not it's anti-natural, right? I mean, it's like you're saying, you have to let nature play its course, and then once that part is fulfilled, it's up to you. If you want to do something, then you want to do something, and I'm not the one to say no, you can't do that because I don't like people telling me that.
Well,
so,
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
As long as they're adults, if you want to fucking tattoo your butt and walk on your hands, that's cool with me, man. But leave the children alone. Jesus Christ, the world's crazy enough. Let's not push that kind of stuff on kids. And I think that's what, I want to get off that issue, but I think that's what Rand Paul was trying to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Cpac is a. I've always had kind of a bad opinion of Cpac.
Well, there's generally some pretty powerful speeches there, and watching Donald Trump Jr. rip apart the third most powerful Republican in the House of Representatives is pretty worthy video, in my opinion. I wouldn't try to waste your time on shit.
So this Liz Cheney chick, she is one of those Republicans that actually probably said that Donald Trump incited a riot at Capitol Hill, right? Isn't that?
I didn't see her name on that vote, but she did say stuff like that. But she in particular, she voted for the impeachment to go ahead. So
And she is a senator.
She's a person.
She's a congressperson for what state?
Wyoming, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, daddy's money. I don't know what makes them qualified. I guess just hanging out in the halls of power, you rub shoulders with the rich and the powerful and the influential, and you're in the club. And fuck the little people. She doesn't. She's not in touch with the little people. Neither is Bernie Sanders, for that matter.
None of them are. This is what I keep saying. There's not a single one of them up there who gives a damn about a single working class human being.
So what the fuck are we going to do about this, man?
We have to recognize the common enemy. This is the only way that we can move forward to make something better happen. If we don't do that, if somehow we act like, oh, these are the good guys, or this is the good side, or these guys are on my side, or these guys are saying things that I want to hear. No, they're not. They're doing theater. They're working together to fuck you up the ass for your entire fucking life. So if that's the sort of thing that you like, again, I'm not here to pass judgment, but I in particular would prefer not to be fucked up the ass by people calling themselves public servants.
Yeah, we're from the government. We're here to help.
We're here to fuck you up the ass.
Yeah. Well, it's not really funny, but we're in a sad state of affairs. If we, and it's the media, it's the people that control the media. I was reading an article on the gray zone today about how Bill Gates is more powerful than any government. The Gates Foundation is more powerful than any government, and he basically owns the WHO, and he set up the leader of the WHO. I knew this a long time ago when the movie Plandemic first came out, and you still have that thing posted on your website somewhere?
Probably.
Yeah. So it's a very good article. It's on, just go to thegrayzone.com and just punch in Bill Gates, and the article will come up, and it explains everything he's into and how powerful he is. And they've got more than half the planet convinced that injecting themselves with vaccines is medicine for a serious flu. Whereas it's like our body's immune systems don't work anymore. The traditional way of fighting a cold or a flu is with your immune system and some chicken soup and vitamin C. But now everybody's going to get a vaccine, and we're looking at the COVID pass and restrictions upon restrictions, and it's a medical tyranny, and it's really. And I'm the more I learn about Bill Gates, the more I'm convinced he's definite psychopath.
There's something seriously wrong with that guy. We were talking to a waiter a couple nights ago who serves him lunch on a regular basis, and he's saying the guy never, ever tips a penny over 15%.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. And that guy's got enough money to fix the planet all by himself, but what's he doing? He's basically enslaving people, or worse, which would be eugenics, And the people that get certain vaccines for certain diseases, like polio, there's more people getting polio from the vaccine than there is from the wild polio virus. So go figure that out. What good is that? It's crazy, the world we live in, and I just want to see. I don't know how to wake people up anymore. I really don't, man. The only thing I can figure out is keep educating myself, try to speak with some veritas and gravitas, and don't lose hope, because it's pretty, now that Biden's in there and he's starting to bomb countries, god damn, what's going to happen? in another year, shit, you'll have a war in Sudan, Syria will have fallen.
Bitcoin will be worth $500 million.
And the government will take it over.
Yeah.
And, then we'll have a Project Bluebeam fake alien invasion. And then the virus will be from the aliens and not the government anymore. It'll be an alien virus. We all got
right.
Special vaccines to fight the alien virus. So it's the largest psyop. God, if my dad was alive and he knew this shit, first of all, he'd be lapping up the mainstream media like, it's those guys, it's those guys. He'd be on the Democratic side because he thinks the Democrats are like the best, right? Except all the unions are dead, Dad, and democracy is dead, Dad, and everyone you believed in was a crook, Dad. So, if your parents were alive, it would kill them to learn the truth, how fucked up shit really is.
I know my mom, she died just as Donald Trump began to run for president, and she was like, I can't take this anymore, and then she died.
No shit.
Yeah.
We're definitely in interesting times. So you got to see her and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I didn't realize it was so close. That's only 5 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
I grew my first outdoor garden in her honor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. She never smoked though, right?
No, she was always really negative about me smoking weed, and then I gave her some cream for her knees, her arthritis that was infused with THC, and a few months later, she's like, "Can you get me another bottle of that cream?"
Yeah.
Sure.
Goes right into the parasympathetic nervous system, cures pain.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
But man, the America I grew up in the 70s. I graduated in '76, so I grew up in the '70s, and that's gone. That America is gone. And I'm not liking what I see, dude. It's like,
look, I don't know that it's gone, but it's just we've been misled, dude. I can't say this enough. We've been misled. We're constantly misinformed, and it's all being done purposefully, in order to keep our species from its next evolution, and. Right. And I'm totally disgusted by it. There is no doubt in any way, shape, or form. I'm totally disgusted by it. But there will be... It doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean that there's not good people here. It doesn't mean that we don't have a chance. It's just, like I said, the real only way we can make this happen is by saying, we see who the enemy is. And it's not Russia, and it's not China, and it's not Iran. And we have to take control of that enemy. We have to deal with that enemy, which is in Washington, D.C., and their ever-expanding police state. Because if we don't deal with the enemy, our common enemy, the only real threat to our freedom, if we don't deal with the U.S. government, someone else will have to. And that would be really fucked up.
Do you remember that movie?
I see it. Thank you.
That happened. That was made in the '70s. You meddle with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Bill, and there are no corporations, or there are no countries anymore, Mr. Bill. There's only IBM and Monsanto and blah 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 and United Steel and so what I am perceiving, but I'm not 1,000% sure on, is that China has quietly infiltrated the international corporate scene and is now
I don't think it's all that quiet. I mean, they had this big Silk and Road effort thing that they're doing, and they're basically trying to become the business superpower in the world. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's what we should be working for, but instead we want to be the military power in the world, which is, very 19th century of us,
Yeah, but we've left ourselves open to foreign corporate influence because I think that's part of what Donald Trump was trying to do. He's trying to block foreign interference into American corporations, but he forgot that movie Network where there are no American corporations. There's international corporations, and there's no countries anymore. And so a lot of what many of the people, mostly Trump supporters, were saying that the Chinese have infiltrated the elections and they've infiltrated American
Yeah, well, again, the Chinese are infiltrating everything that they can, but they're not our enemy. Our enemy is in Washington, D.C. It's really our only enemy. The Chinese only want to do business with us. That's it. They might want to spy on us a little bit, see if they can steal some of our business ideas. And that's the kind of security that our government should be focused on instead of spying on all of us. Hey, Mike, I got another caller. I got to go.
All right.
Talk to you later. Okay, I'm going to play a video for you guys, and I'll be right back with another caller, okay? Here's a video about online predators.
The coronavirus pandemic sent kids home from school and put them online. But as kids turned to the internet for distance learning, online predators were there waiting. This has led to an explosion of child sexploitation and obscene images of kids circling the internet. Holly Menino reports on the digital danger our kids face.
In just minutes.
I'm chatting with an individual that says he's 18, and I've told him I'm 14.
An undercover detective posing as a minor online shows us just how easy it is for a predator to connect with a child.
The victim will trust this person.
The dangers of the online world aren't new, but the pandemic took the threat to a whole new level.
The explosion has been tremendous, and at all levels of federal and throughout all the states.
In 1 year, the National Cyber Tip Line saw a 63% increase in reports of child sexual abuse material and distribution, from 11.2 million in 2019 to 18.4 million reports in 2020.
We uncover predators across the globe in every country.
That's why Chris Hednagi started the Innocent Lives Foundation, a nonprofit led by tech experts helping law enforcement protect children.
We need more people. The explosion of the cyber tips from NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, has been tremendous in 2020.
Brandon James is a sergeant with the Seattle Police Department. He's also the assistant commander for the state's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. He believes the problem is worse than the numbers show.
Do you think it's underreported, though?
Absolutely, it's underreported. As I'm reviewing reports from members of the public, as I review reports from electronic service providers like your Facebooks and your Googles, it's apparent to me that this is occurring at many other levels, and parents may not even know how to report it.
They're grooming kids in many places, so it's not just gaming sites and social media.
Predators know millions of kids are at home learning, and they know where to find them online.
We found predators hanging out on homework sites where kids go to get help with their homework.
Hednagi says these are free and open sites designed to help kids with school.
The predator will quickly take that conversation from the homework site to something like Snapchat or Instagram DM or Kik or some other method where it's a private chat where they can be deleted quickly.
No child is off limits, no matter the age. If they have a device, they're at risk.
It is never ending.
Experts say parents should know what apps are on your child's devices and know who they're chatting with online. It's what parents know that will help keep their children safe. Holly Menino, Como News.
And here are a few ways to keep your kids safe. You should check your children's devices, search history, what they're posting, as well as their emails, texts, and social media direct messages. Talk to your children about internet safety and online predators. Make sure their social media accounts are turned to private and turn off location tracking.
All right, I got the bong all heated up. If you guys want to do a dab with me, our buddy Pete, Drunk Pete from Rhode Island, kicked down $10. Our first donation this week, our first dabs for donation on today, our first donation this week, which is very generous of him because he almost always donates on Dabs for Donations Friday. So thank you, Pete. This one is in your honor, bro. And again, we're trying to get a Bitcoin donation if anybody's available to do that, because I've gotten Bitcoin donation every week, one Bitcoin donation every week for the last 3 weeks, which is really cool because I hadn't gotten a Bitcoin donation for like 3 years before that or more. So if anybody wants to make it 4 weeks in a row that we're getting a crypto, that would be pretty fucking cool. I can be like, woohoo! I'm on my way! I am gonna be crypto fucking millionaire any day now. Fuckers. That $10 is gonna add up. Gonna turn into $500 million. You watch. Pete, this one's for you, bud. Nice. Thank you, Pete. That's very nice of you. I really needed that. Any kind of Bitcoin nation would be very generous of you. And mostly it will keep our streak going. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep the streak going. You don't understand. It's not that I, want to do the crypto thing. It's just I want to keep the streak going. We got donations on this way now. We got donations on this way, and we're getting a new Patreon account client. Fucking A, things are really happening for us now. But the crypto, the Bitcoin donations 3 weeks in a row, even though, it's not like somebody donated a whole Bitcoin, which is not something that I would ever expect to happen. Ever. So, it's not something that I'm waiting to happen, or, I'm let down by the fact that it hasn't happened yet. I am, it puts a smile on my face. Everybody drops $5. It's like, somebody appreciates me. Fuck yeah. So, if you want to show a little appreciation, there are clickable links in the text body of this video. There are clickable links in the chat. And we're looking for a Bitcoin donation to make it 4 weeks in a row that we got one Bitcoin donation each week. Pretty fucking sick. All right, we're waiting for phone callers. The number's up there on the screen is 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. Would you like me to play another video? Is that what you want me to do? Or is that what you're waiting for? Because I came prepared. See, I have videos. I can play videos for you guys. Did you see the Cpac host booed, though? I'm going to play that one again real quick because I played it earlier in the show, and I'm afraid not that many people saw it. So I want to play it real quick. It's a very short clip. I think it's kind of powerful.
We conservatives believe in the rule of law because we know that when the law is enforced, our rights are protected. That's why we're doing such a big effort at this Cpac to talk about the Bill of Rights. But I also want to mention one thing, and I know this might sound like a little bit of a downer, but we also believe in property rights, and this is a private hotel. And we believe in the rule of law, so we need to comply with the laws of this county that we're in. But a private hotel, just like your house, gets to set its own rules. Carly, our Cpac director.
Well, as Dan mentioned, we are in a private facility, and we do want to be respectful of the ordinances that they have as their private property. So please, everyone, when you're in the ballroom, when you're seated, you should still be wearing a mask. So if everybody can go ahead, work on that. I know it's not the most fun.
You have the right. You have the right to set the own rules in your own house, and we're borrowing somebody else's house. So we need to comply with their rules. So thank you all for putting on your masks. I wear a mask when I'm in the halls, and we're going to comply with their rules.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good conference.
That guy is such a pussy. Giving that girl the microphone to make the announcement that you know, oh, you have to put your mask on. Everybody's got to wear their mask. I think you know, hoping that maybe she wouldn't get booed. You know, if it was me, there's no way I would have given it the microphone to a female. I would have been, you know, according to the rules, we all have to wear masks. You know, and if people started booing me, I'd be like, are you booing me? If they continued to boo, I'd be like, suck my motherfucking dick, y'all. Because I don't care. You know, I don't care if I host Cpac next year. Fuck that. Don't you fucking dare boo me. It's not my rules. I didn't make up the damn rules. You know, I could put some autistic girl up here and make her announce that you have to wear masks. You're gonna boo her too? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Don't boo me. No, but I agree. I would have been like, I agree. Boo, boo, bad people. All right, so I'll play another video for you since we don't have any callers. I'm gonna play a video about wait, hold on. I'm getting a message. Just one sec here. Hello? Is there a message? Hello? I thought I was getting a message. No? Okay. I guess we're not getting a message here. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Ollie North video for you guys. And Ollie, this is a video of Ollie North talking about the threat from Iran. Ollie North, Iran-Contra Ollie North. Right, Iran-Contra Ollie North, who, you know, made deals with Iran, illegal deals about getting them military weapons, and it just, you know, I mean, Ronald Reagan had to testify under oath in front of a fucking committee because of this dirty dealings that they were doing in Iran. So, anyways, I think it's pretty funny to see Ollie North being an expert on Iran. So I'm going to play that for you. I'll be right back. Hopefully we'll do another dab, huh? Does it sound good? Sounds good to me.
Joe Biden has ordered a missile strike in Syria. It reportedly killed one person. It's said to be retaliation for a series of deadly attacks on one of our bases in Iraq. Meanwhile, Biden is seeking to get Iran back into the JCPOA, otherwise known as the Obama-Ayatollah nuke deal, a deal that ensures Iran will get nukes at the end of a decade, a 10-year period. Joining me now is retired Marine Corps Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, author of the book, Veterans Lament. Colonel, great to have you as always, sir. Socialists in Congress, they're trying to give Mr. Biden cover. He's taking some heat from his anti-American left, so they're criticizing him for this. But what is your take on the whole strike?
Well, the good news in all of this is they're calling it proportional. They have to because that's part of the UN. The UN requires that a response to an attack has to be proportional. So 1 dead, several wounded. And of course, they're all members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or at least one of the Hezbollah militias that's operating along the Syrian-Iraq border, chose to operate on the Syrian side of it because they're trying to avoid anything that makes it in the Iraqis dangerous. The idea of what he's really intending to do is that, as you pointed out, Chris, bring us back into this so-called JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. And, of course, the Europeans love that idea because it gives them the out of saying, well, we're just trying to negotiate and diplomacy is what we're after. The bottom line of it is the JCPOA was fatally flawed right from the very beginning. The maximum pressure campaign brought by the Trump administration was much more likely to get the Ayatollahs to do what they needed to do to make sure that their country could survive. The bottom line of it is the Abraham Accords that were put together by the Trump administration, a remarkably historic event that was pulled together primarily by his son-in-law. And that plan was based on the fact that the number one adversary for them in that part of the world is Iran. And so that plan depends on the United States maintaining pressure on the Iranians.
You're right. Peace was breaking out in the Middle East, and here comes Joe Biden. He's going to turn that all around real fast. While this little distraction is going on, who's minding the store on China's dangerous military expansion?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's an overt connection with the Ayatollahs between Xi Jinping and the People's Republic of China, but there's also a covert part of what's going on. And what Xi Jinping is doing is he has worked a deal with the Iranian Ayatollahs, this theocracy dictatorship that rules a significant part of the territory over there, to give them the means of building nuclear weapons and the means of delivering them. Now, the JCPOA expires essentially in 2025. And so you've got essentially a little bit of time in which you might be able to negotiate a better deal. Why would they want to in Tehran? Why would they want to start limiting their ICBMs, limiting their ability to build nuclear weapons, and carrying out the kinds of terrorism that was part of the attack on our embassy and on the airfield out in Erbil back in the 15th of the month? The ideas of the Iranians and the PRC regime is to give America something else to worry about in the long run. Bottom line of it is, JCPOA was a bad deal then, it'll be a bad deal tomorrow.
Absolutely. And you know what? In that deal, folks, the United States called on the Iranians not to develop intercontinental ballistic missile technology, never prohibited it. That's why Mr. Kerry was working to undermine the Trump administration, I believe in violation of several of our laws. But anyway.
And this is one of the things that I really, really despise about the media, right? Is that they take people like Ollie North and all these other generals and lieutenants and so-called retired military who immediately, when they retire from the military, go to work for the CIA and then get implanted into mainstream media as if they're authorities on military operations. These people are responsible for committing atrocities. And, Oliver North was convicted of crimes. I mean, how are these the kind of people that we want explaining who the threat to us is? They're known liars. They're known criminals. They're known, they commit crimes against humanity and in our names, in the good name of the United States. And then we're supposed to listen to them when it comes to what we need to do next in Iran. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike. It's Kiki from Kansas.
Hi, Kiki.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Well, I was calling just to shoot the shit, but Craig said I should talk about something.
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
No, we can talk about important stuff.
And you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Don't let, whatever is on your mind, you go ahead.
I don't know. It's Friday. The weather's not freezing like it was before.
There you go. Got that to look forward to.
Yeah, did it freeze there? In Seattle?
It was pretty cold. It wasn't like ice on the roads, but there was snow.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it froze here. Like, everybody's water froze, electricity went out. It was crazy.
Yeah, I can't even get.
Then a week later, it's very nice. You want to barbecue and day drink. It was a totally different world.
Excellent. I can't even get any. I can't even get any chicken because there all this stuff, all the frozen tundra over there in Texas and Kansas and Missouri and stuff.
You can't get what?
Chicken. I can't get no chicken, man.
Really?
The dude at the store said it might be 2 weeks before we get any chicken.
You know what? I'm gonna send you a chicken.
I
I'll send it to you.
I love chickens. I don't want a live one.
No, I'll send you 2 chickens.
I love chicken.
That's weird. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the ice, the cold, it seems like that's unusual, right?
You know, the thing is that in Kansas, it does get cold, but it was 0 degrees high for like over a week, and that is not usual. Like, that's a low at night.
Yeah, that's very cold. But it's better now. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I had family staying at hotels. I had my mom who's in her 70s, late 70s, with no water for 4 days. It was kind of crazy.
What kind of weed you get in Kansas?
Good weed.
Oh, nice. That's the way it should be.
Colorado weed.
Excellent. They get some good weed there in Colorado, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's a lot different for sure. We used to get Mexico weed when I was a kid.
Get that Colombian gold, that Acapulco gold.
I mean, you know, when I was younger it was good, but it's evolved for sure.
Oh, the Acapulco gold and the Colombian gold are kick ass, dude.
You know what though? Like, we don't do dabs on a regular.
Well, it's because the oil and stuff isn't as available to you. And once you can go down to every street corner at the party store and get, some dabs, it will be much more common.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a very easy way to go. You take a puff, and then basically you don't really think about taking a puff for 2 or 3 more hours. It's like,
well, and that's how I feel about edibles.
Yeah.
That's why I like the gummies.
Yeah, I recommend to everybody, the way that I go is you start your day with the puff, and then you have a brownie, and then by the time the puff wears off, that brownie is fully kicking in, and you're going to be good for most of the day.
And that's how you start your day?
That's how I start every day. I don't actually take a puff every day to start off with, but I definitely start every day with a brownie. I rarely actually take a puff in the morning. I take my brownie and then I take the dogs out for a poo, and by the time we get back from our walk, that brownie's fully kicked in, and I'm pretty good.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. I feel like you know what? Everyone has their own thing. I do not even like to get high until it's later.
Yeah.
So,
a girl has got to have.
I'm a mom. I have to take care of kids. I got stuff to do.
A girl has got to,
responsibilities.
A girl has got to have priorities. Damn it.
Right at 9 o'clock, maybe like I did a brownie like at 8.
Oh, well, that's too late. You should try and see if you can get it a little bit earlier, because you're exhausted by 8.
So come home from work, make dinner, and then have dessert, is what you're telling me.
No, what I'm telling you is come home from work and have the brownie then. And then go about your normal thing, and it will be much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I am kind of a little bit irritable. Maybe that would help with that.
I think it's really, I think it's, a normal, this is something that 1,000 generations of human beings did before us. And it's meant to be part of our life. We're meant to eat it. We're meant to wear it as clothing. We're meant to really build our houses out of it and fuel our cars.
All right, Mike. Okay, so what about the kids, though? Because I don't want to promote my children to be getting high all the time or drunk or anything like that.
If you're taking a brownie, and you do it, that's fairly easy to do it clandestine as opposed to smoking, which people can smell for fucking a mile away.
True. Yeah, but they don't know. But nonetheless, still, like.
What I'm saying is, are you promoting alcohol? Because alcohol is a horrible, horrible drug. In fact, it is the #1 date rape drug in the world. And
no, I don't promote alcohol either.
Right,
like, I try to act like I'm very angelic,
they watch television, right? Alcohol is promoted all over television, on the TV shows, in between in the commercial breaks, in between the TV shows. So again, that probably one of the best things that you could teach your children is that the only safe drug there is cannabis.
But I also I have a son. He's going to be 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I found out he was smoking weed in middle school, and I've been smoking weed. And we talked about it, and he asked if I smoke weed, and I said, yeah. But I didn't get into details. I don't tell my kids what I've done because, I don't want my son to think that. Like, what about that?
Well, I think it's, again, at 20, you shouldn't be hiding
But we're
things.
talking like when they're kids. What about when they're 13 or 14?
When they're 13 or 14, one of the most important things that you can possibly teach them is that the only safe drug there is cannabis. Because when they're 13, 14, there's going to be a lot of people around them with drugs.
What about sobriety?
And I just saw someone the other day, I just saw a news story. A 16-year-old kid died because he took a fentanyl-laced fucking Xantax. Okay?
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Okay,
actually.
so this is a very common thing. We're seeing kids die. This is what the drug war brings you, because people aren't honest about the fact that cannabis is something 1,000 generations did before us and completely fucking safe. Not just that, it's actually good for you. So you tell them the truth. It's the only safe drug there is. And by doing that, you might just save their lives.
Yeah, but in the same sense, I don't want to promote.
You don't say but. You don't say. You don't look. You just. When you say but, you negate everything that you said before it. So I love you, but not that much. Okay. You just said, yeah, I might save my children's lives, but. Is that really the way you want to communicate?
I totally know about the but. I learned about it when I was in counseling. Okay, but also there is always a but. And I'm just saying that when you have kids and you're promoting like drugs are okay,
you're not.
It's really not though.
It's not drugs. You're not promoting. You're not promoting that drugs are okay. You're living in the real world where drugs are all around your children, and you're teaching them the smartest thing you possibly can, which is that the only safe drug there is cannabis. Not that you're promoting drugs. You're teaching them something incredibly important. The only safe drug there is cannabis. And all these other drugs that you see your friends taking, they could die from it. Alcohol, pills, cocaine, meth, heroin. Some people are going to die from these things. Please, I don't want my child to be one of them. So please understand this. The only safe drug there is cannabis. No one in the history of the world has ever died from cannabis. So if you're going to choose a drug, if you're going to choose to do some drugs, please do something safe, okay? And if you don't teach your children that, then you know what? If they die, it's totally on you. No offense, I'm not trying to put it on you.
If you teach your kids anything, you teach them sobriety.
No,
Because
you
they
fucking
have
don't. It's unrealistic.
Well, yeah, you do,
what
Mike.
fucking world do you live in? It's completely unrealistic. That is completely unrealistic. You said yourself you did drugs. You said your 20-year-old admitted to doing drugs in middle school. That's fucking 8th grade. Get a fucking clue, man. What?
Are you calling marijuana a drug?
I'm telling you again. Are you listening? It's the only safe drug there is. What part of that don't you understand?
I'm just saying it's not really a drug. And with that being said, I'm not telling my kids to do fucking weed.
Good. Well, then hopefully they won't wind up doing a handful of pills and dying on you. Good plan. I would go with that. Fucking idiot. Okay? You want to fucking wind up with dead kids? Don't teach them about cannabis. Okay? It's the only safe drug there is. Throughout the entire history of man, no one's ever died from cannabis. Every other fucking drug kills people daily. Okay? So yeah, I'm not going to teach my kids about weed. Well, then they're going to die on you. Okay? Get a fucking clue. Moron! Fuck! This is a call-in show, people, so if you'd like to call, the numbers are 805-669-6397. Operators are standing by, and I look forward to taking your call. But until then, I think we'll play a video. Here's an interview with the Proud Boys leader, who turns out he's actually not the Proud Boys leader. He's an FBI informant. Okay, there's a lot of bullshit going on in the world, and it kind of pisses me off, you know?
The acting Capitol Police Chief telling lawmakers that extremist groups want to blow up the Capitol when President Biden addresses Congress during his State of the Union address. The warning coming during a hearing about the security failures over the January 6th insurrection. Among the groups involved on that day, the extremist Proud Boys. Several members have been arrested on conspiracy charges. The leader of the Proud Boys speaking with CNN in his first interview with a major American network since the attack. He spoke with CNN's Sarah Seidner.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents. I'm not going to sympathize with them.
The leader of the Proud Boys is talking about the members of Congress who feared for their lives on January 6th.
Everybody stay down!
As a mob attacked the Capitol.
They shouldn't have breached the Capitol with violence.
He says that now. But the day after the violent breach, Enrique Tarrio posted this, a picture on social media of members of Congress trying to hide as the attackers began their siege.
You write, when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. Yes. Doesn't that show that you are celebrating terrorizing people?
I was celebrating, and I'll tell you, I'll celebrate the moment that the government does fear the people. At that point, again, and I didn't have all the information that came in, why they were cowering or anything like that.
Do you wish that you didn't do that now that you know
No,
what I happened?
don't. Another thing is I'll never regret something that I said.
They are doing the job that the people put them there to do. And if they don't like it, they can vote them out. They are still Americans. They are still human beings who felt that their lives were in danger. How can you not feel any sympathy or any empathy towards someone like that?
I'm not going to worry about people that their only worry in life is to be reelected.
We got a whole boatload of Proud Boys walking through here, folks.
Tarrio was not there on January 6th. He was arrested in D.C. 2 days before for burning a Black Lives Matter flag stolen from a church and having empty weapons magazines that are illegal in D.C.
You're walking with the Proud Boys to the state capitol.
But a group of Proud Boys was there. The far-right group is known across the country for brawling with members of Antifa, a left-wing anti-fascist movement. They are also known for throwing their support behind Donald Trump, whose words to them in a September presidential debate exploded their popularity.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
I think we've doubled in numbers since the debate.
Tario has close ties with one of Trump's longest-serving advisors and friends, Roger Stone. Stone was in D.C. on January 6th as people rallied against the election results that showed Trump lost. Stone did not march to the Capitol and wasn't charged with a crime. Instead, Stone was seen with members of extremist groups like the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, who have now become a central focus of law enforcement in the Capitol attack investigation. Tario had such a close relationship with Roger Stone, he revealed this.
You have access to Roger Stone's phone?
For a couple times when I went to go see him, you know, I'd help him with like his social media posts and things like that.
Tario's access to that phone landed him in front of a federal grand jury, a detail not revealed until now. At the time, Stone was facing 7 charges in the Russia probe, including lying to Congress and witness tampering. Trump pardoned him after he was convicted on all 7 charges. During his trial, Stone was accused of threatening the judge in the case with a social media post, an image of the judge, and what appeared to be a target behind her head.
I testified in front of the grand jury, but no, there was no. That picture was brought up on a Google search, right? So you used to be able to search. Not now, obviously, because there's so much has happened.
Back up. It just settled in what you said. Did you just say you were on a grand jury panel? You did.
I did.
It's too late to take it back now.
Well, yeah, that's the story. It's not a secret. That's the story that came out that, they wanted to see if who was it that posted it at that point. The actual crosshairs isn't really a crosshair. It's the logo of the organization that wrote the article. So it's just like a graphic. And then that was posted. I have no idea who actually posted it, but I know that I had nothing to do with it.
Stone is one of the architects of the Stop the Steal rallying cry. But Tario does not buy into the lie that the election was stolen. He says he just wants more transparency.
Do you believe that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from Donald Trump?
No, I don't. I don't believe that the election was stolen.
And yet, he encouraged his Proud Boys to show up on January 6th in record numbers.
Here's all the Proud Boys, guys.
A group of them did show up. Here they are, marching together towards the Capitol. At least 8 Proud Boys Tario knows have been charged in the Capitol siege. This is one of them, using a police officer's shield to bust out a window in the Capitol, allowing people to flood in.
I condemn the actions. I don't think that he should have done that. I think it was completely wrong. But the other 7 individuals were trespassing. I think that they got caught up with the entire crowd, and they made a poor decision to go in there.
Members of the Proud Boys didn't appear to just be getting caught up in this. Some of them were leading this attack. You had people removing barriers who were Proud Boys. You had someone threatening an officer, breaking the Capitol window. They weren't just following in this insurrection. It appears that some of them were leading the charge.
Now, those 3 accusations, I do want to touch on those. The breaking of the window, we've already hit. The threatening.
You think that's wrong?
Yeah, definitely. Unequivocally, I think that's wrong. But the threatening of police officers, I didn't see that.
The feds have. They have video of William Cressman yelling, "You shoot and I'll take your ass out."
As of right now, I can't tell you about Cressman because I can't locate who he's affiliated with. Like, if he's even a Proud Boy.
Cressman's defense attorney said he was just following Trump's orders that day. But Tario says some of his Proud Boys who did breach the Capitol are unfairly being charged with conspiracy.
Did the Proud Boys have a plan to go
into the Capitol?
Into the Capitol.
Absolutely not.
Tario put some of the blame for what happened on January 6th on police for being unprepared to thwart the mob.
Oh, we're tearing it down.
And he claims some of the Proud Boys simply walked in to record history.
There's nobody that told them, that stopped them from going in. You feel like it's something that's wrong that you shouldn't do.
But are you blaming the police for telling people not to break the law?
No, I'm not blaming the cops at all.
So what do you say?
No, I can blame the police officers and the feds for their inability to respond to this. So was it a mistake to even go into the Capitol?
Was it?
Yes.
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong.
He thinks the FBI is trying to make an example of the Proud Boys. But Tario also has a history with the FBI after being sentenced to federal prison for fraud in 2012. Were you ever an informant for the FBI?
I was, to put it simply, I was put in a very tough situation where the federal government had wanted me to testify against my brothers.
He said he refused, and instead, his defense attorney said Tario cooperated with the FBI and other law enforcement on many cases, one involving prescription drugs, another a marijuana raid, an illegal gambling bust, and more. But Tario would only admit to cooperating on one case.
The only thing that I actually gave them was the human trafficking ring. And again, I'm not going to apologize for it.
What is next for the Proud Boys and the country? Tario has already made a plan.
I think right now is the time to go ahead and overthrow the government by becoming the new government and running for office.
Sarah Seidner joins me now. That is my question, Sarah. So he's actually considering running for himself? Was that a serious comment?
Absolutely dead serious. He is definitely consider running. He says that he may even step down as the chairman of the Proud Boys in order to do that, and not only that.
Absolutely dead serious. As the chairman of the Proud Boys. What is the Proud Boys? Are they like some FBI organization or something? Or you just have fucking FBI agents running the head of the show for the Proud Boys? Is that what's going on? Because that guy works for the fucking FBI. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on CNN. So we're clear. At least not for a fucking hour-long interview like he just did. Okay, so, and by the way, Kiki, no, I don't have fucking children. I'm much more responsible than that. Okay, I'm not going to bring some innocent life form into this fucking slimy society. And I don't think you have a clue as to the words coming out of your mouth, let alone what it is I'm trying to tell you. You say, I'm not going to teach my kids to do drugs. And then you say, are you calling marijuana a drug? Are you calling marijuana a drug? Because I don't think marijuana is a drug. What the fuck are you... What I'm telling you is it's the safest substance there is. No one ever died from it. All the other things people die from. If you really want to protect your children, then you tell them the truth 99.9% of the time. Because if you lie, then they don't know what the truth is, and they're not able to protect themselves because people have been lying to them from the very beginning. So whatever, do your thing. No, I don't have kids. I'm much more responsible than that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is a call-in show, which means there's the number right there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. And operators are standing by. And we love communicating with our callers, don't we? Look, this is really basic. And the reason that I communicate in this manner is because I'm not trying to steer you the wrong way. If you are not being honest with your children about cannabis, you are steering them down a very dark path. And it's a very, very scary place. If you tell them this is the only safe drug there is, and I will never have a problem with you actually using this drug, but if you use anything else, it's going to hurt me. If you tell them the truth, you know, that alcohol is the #1 date rape drug in the world, all these pills that your friends have, they kill people every single day. All these all these powders that they put up their nose and put into their arms, they kill people every day. And I don't want that to happen to you. You're more important to me than that. That's why I'm being honest with you about this, because I know that these drugs, these dangerous substances are all around you. And I don't want you to make a mistake by choosing the wrong thing, by lying to you, by not telling you the truth about what's safe and what isn't safe. That's my job as a parent, to tell you, to make sure you know what is safe and what isn't safe. And the only safe drug there is cannabis. Please, never forget that. That's all I'm saying. Is that this week? March 10th. Thank you, Wolco. What now? Okay, so I'm getting low on videos here. I got Proud Boys one done. We got the fucking Tiger one done. Shooting Sharks. Ollie North is done. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is Thomas Sanders on 100 Black with the the green, and I just passed in something to you, but it came under 1 Cal Bay.
I don't. Oh, okay. You just. I owe you a dab. Is that what you're saying?
You owe me a dab, a long one.
Okay, but I will fire it up after we get off the phone. Okay.
All right, cool. So what's going on?
What's going on with you?
Well, just sipping on some sake.
Right on. I haven't had sake forever. Is it warm? Or are you doing it room temperature or cold or what?
Man, I do everything. Hey, I do beer room temperature if I can get it. But yeah, because I mean, when it comes down to it, you have to find your drink, and sake's the one for me, and it's healthy too.
Oh man, sake will make you see God. You got to be careful with that stuff.
My goodness. Yeah, but as far as to politics, I listen to people talk about politics. Personally, I don't know anything about politics, but I have, what do you say, a discerning ability to figure out some bullshit when I see it and hear it.
Right, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
They'll say something like, well, hell, they view it from like a basket, like a sports. People don't know a damn thing about politics. They act like they know you don't. It's constantly changing. And the way you're talking about it, you and your friends are talking about it like, you guys have two competing sports teams. It's totally different.
Right. They're not competing. They're not competing at all. They're trying. No, they're trying their best.
They're competing
to work together.
We're the game.
Yeah.
We're the game. You see what I'm saying? We're
Absolutely.
the game.
They're the ones that are trying to defeat us. Right? It's like it's basically that's why there's a fucking 11-foot tall razor wire fence around the Capitol. Because they're afraid of us. Because they, that's how they defend themselves. It's just.
But damn, it's worse than kids. Now you think it out. If they're afraid of us, it's like, okay, they're capping themselves off and they're not wanting to actually. For the most part, it's like they're absorbed in some dark world of, we could do better, but we're not going to do a goddamn thing. Hell with it,
Yeah.
And you'll just keep me and you. They'll keep me and you 6 feet apart. And then when you get near me, one of us has to say, hey, man, come on to get closer, and then you might just do that. And then after that, you walk out the store, you feel human again. But then you got some, like I was telling you last time, this is a rare case, man, to let you know, because that's dangerous, because you got those few, many of them out there. They want to walk, if they see you coming, they want to walk around you. It's like,
yeah,
really, if I was violent, I'd come hit you in the head about that, but I see that you're stupid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I walk every day for a couple of hours, and and the people, and it's not everybody for sure. But there's people who will walk way, way, way around you, and it's like, whatever.
Those are the body snatchers. Those are the body snatchers, man. Look here, when everybody gets that vaccine, I can't say I won't get it and will get it, but like I said, because I have had other vaccines, but closer we get to times, I'm like, closer we get to these times, like here, and you read about stuff, you're like, oh shit, no, they ain't shooting up at me, but on the other hand, it's like, okay, you have people that want to walk around you, but it's like the invasion of the body snatchers, man. It's like, okay, once enough people getting vaccinated, they're gonna be, you got yours, they're gonna, you're like, there's going to be no way almost that you can actually kind of like fit in that and walk off anywhere, say, no, what you got? Let me see your skin.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be see your skin. It's going to be called a vaccine passport, and it'll be on your phone, and it'll
There
be
it is.
and
There it is.
and you'll have to show it before you walk into the grocery store and stuff like that.
And if you ain't got it, somebody like, that is, you know,
Yeah.
you might as well be, it's drastic, but they'll say, oh, you don't have yours. And everybody else will hear that you don't have yours, like, damn, okay,
Yeah.
where can I hide, you know? So,
Yeah, it's very like I'm not gonna get the vaccine. You know, I mean, they could be paying people $2,000 each to get the vaccine. I'm not rushing down to get the vaccine.
Well, see, I am, like I say, you know what it is? I'm keeping an open mind because, like, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be, you know, like some of these people, you know, they're so huff and bad, they're not going to take it. Now, see, you have a different vibe about when you say you're not going to take it. I can dig it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I like I say, I'm not in the mind to take it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not in the mind to take it. So it's like, I'm not in the mind, I'm really, okay, I hear about it, but to me, it's like this fathom. It's like this phantom, you know, it's like,
yeah.
You know, I'm not thinking about that shit. I've had them before.
Yeah.
If I can avoid it, I'm going to avoid it. You know, and then, like I say, if I'm watching people get this shit, you know, they're walking away, I'm like, okay, how can I go the other way? I don't want to take it because they get that part where they want to make you take it.
Yeah.
It's like, now, what you going to do? Cage me, put me in jail? Because, you know, I'm black man. So it's like, you know, see, so it's like, okay, what you guys getting right to? I prefer not to have that. What do you guys, come toward me for?
No, you don't want to say. You don't want to say I prefer not to have it. You say I had a medical reaction from another vaccine, and I'm not going to take anymore. I'm not risking that again. You know, and then there's not a lot they can do. Yeah, what's that?
That's so true. You know, and I have had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's easy to say that. That's what I would recommend. That, you know, if it comes down to it, say something like that, because you know they should be wanting to protect you from having. The last thing they should want is for you to have a reaction to their vaccine, and when especially if there's other people around, you know, they don't.
Yeah.
So, you know, that should work for you.
Right. And thanks for that one right there. Hey, go ahead. I'm gonna hear that thing bubble. So I'm gonna talk to you later.
Okay, bro. Thanks so much for your help, and I'm glad you called. I look forward to talking to you again soon, okay?
All right, cool.
I'll take it down for you in a sec here.
All right.
See ya. All right, so I believe that was Thomas. I'm gonna play this video about the COVID-19 stimulus bill. Is that the one? Oh, no, I'm gonna play Kennedy. I'm gonna play the Kennedy video. How about that? Because I like Kennedy, and I hope that you like her too. So I'm trying to help make that happen.
We cover a lot of kooky criminals on this show, but justice is rarely served in the real world. Well, there's a new sheriff in town. On this installment of Kennedy's Court, I'll show you how it works. I will read you a ridiculous but true crime headline about some lovable losers. Think Mugshot Monday meets the Darwin Awards. Attorney Mike Chase, he gives us the defense. Our other panelists, Catherine and Ethan, they will act as jurors and decide if the suspect is guilty or not guilty. I, as Judge Kennedy, will deliver the final verdict. Let's get started. Kennedy's Court is in session. Hear ye, hear ye. All right, here's case number one. Landlord kidnaps sleeping tenants and dumps them in a cemetery. 48-year-old Sean Douglas of Albany says he'd grown frustrated because he was unable to evict two of his tenants due to COVID-19 restrictions. So he did the next best thing. He snuck into their apartment while they were sleeping, tied them up, covered their heads with pillowcases, drove them at gunpoint to a rural cemetery, and dumped them in the snow. He was arrested on charges of second-degree kidnapping. Very hard to defend this fella. Mike Chase, go ahead.
It's not that hard to defend this fella because with me, I'm a full-service attorney, okay? I think a lot of criminal defense lawyers, they get involved in the case too late. I, on the other hand, I get involved early, and I drafted this lease agreement, okay, for my client. And if you go to Section 240G, subsection 3, it says, in the event of non-payment, landlord shall have the right to put you in a pillowcase and drag you to a cemetery in the middle of the night and leave you for dead. So I don't know how much more clear I can make it. That's consent. They signed this lease agreement. I can't do much better than that.
Catherine, I'm very impressed by what Mike Chase just said. Guilty or not guilty?
as a deep believer in the right to contract, I have to go with not guilty.
Okay, not guilty. Ethan.
It is no longer the Lochner era. There is no right to contract. Guilty.
Oh, guilty and not guilty. Well, I'm so, you know what I have to say? Because Mike brought a prop and rewrote the lease, I say not guilty. Come on. Contract, schmontract. That's what I say in a very positive way. All right, here we go. Here's case number 2. Oregon driver breaks record for alcohol level in DUI arrest. 20-year-old Nathan Danzuka crashed his car into a concrete barrier during a police chase. Officers attempted to pull him over for a previous hit and run. They observed several alcoholic beverages in the vehicle. He was taken to the hospital, measured a blood alcohol count of 0.778, more than 9 times the legal limit and the highest ever recorded. He was also driving on a suspended license due to a previous DUI conviction. All shocking things. Mike Chase.
Look, Oregon Revised Statute 813.010 says that a person commits the offense of driving under the influence if they have too high of a blood alcohol level. I think at 0.7%, you are legally a pickle. So I don't think that the statute applies to him. But you'll remember that last time that I was on Kennedy's court, Your Honor, I said that I was going to take the jury on a field trip to go to the crime scene.
With the jet ski.
In this case, I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do a courtroom demonstration. We are going to drink enough booze that every one of us is going to get a 0.7% alcohol blood count, and then we're going to just get the verdict at that point, and we'll see if he's guilty. So I say not guilty.
Okay. Catherine, how do you and your liver decide on this case? Guilty or not guilty?
I would never miss out on a bar night with Mike Chase if I could possibly avoid it, but I'm going to... I think the numbers don't lie. We're going to have to say guilty here, friend.
There we go. Ethan?
Well, it's Purim. We're supposed to celebrate and party tonight. Right. And I happen to agree with the defense here that there's no way this person was human to survive a 0.77. I would argue super pickle, not just pickle, not guilty.
Well, hearing an Oregon revised statute reminded me of my days in high school at youth legislature. So I'm gonna have to go with the defense here. Not guilty. Well done. Get this man a car and a Coors Light immediately.
It's the pickle defense. You can't lose with a pickle defense.
But Mike, you thought you had trouble with tree humpers in the last Kennedy's court. Now you're going to have human pickles. Right?
That's right.
Chase? Okay, here we go. 2 Maryland brothers arrested for staging a fake stabbing for social media. Dennison and Pierre Jean, 21 and 19 years old, pretended to fight with a kitchen knife for unsuspecting witnesses who called police after one brother pretended to stab the other. Police arrived to find both brothers covered in blood, administered first aid to Dennison as he pretended to be dying on the floor. After 2 minutes, he sat up, started laughing, and told the officer it was an internet prank. They were charged with making a false alarm call and making a false statement to law enforcement. How do you defend this, Mike Chase?
Look, the hyper-technical defense here is that I say they've been charged with making a false police call and making a false statement to police, and I would argue they did neither of those things. The neighbors did those things. So they're not guilty of the offense that's charged. But look, I'm in a rare situation. I've got a libertarian judge and at least one libertarian juror. So I think my defense is I'm going to say, I thought this was America. I don't need a permit to get in a fake knife fight with my brother, okay? Not guilty.
Okay, Catherine.
Incredible ability to read the jury. Truly, you are a talented lawyer. I really can't. I mean, honestly, I think everyone really has the right to lie to cops, so I would nullify if I could here, but I'll just say not guilty.
All right. Voir dire is working in your favor, Mike. Ethan, last word.
I mean, the defense counsel is correct and cited the law properly. Not guilty.
Oh, not guilty. It's a 3 for it. Is the first hat trick we've had on Kennedy's court. Court is now adjourned. Mike, Catherine, Ethan, beautifully done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, coming up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united.
All right. Like I said, I like that girl. I have this big fat dab for Thomas. I made it extra fat because I think he gave a donation last Friday also, and it was too late. I went off the air before I was able to give him a dab. So this one is for you, Thomas. Thanks very much for your help, bro. Very nice of you. Wow, that was a good one. Really good. Thanks very much, Thomas. Very nice of you. Wow. Am I laggy? Are we laggy? Wilco says we're laggy. My fingers are all green. My fingers turn green on the green screen. You see that? That's the color of the green screen. When I move my fingers, you can see the green. Oh, I get in the green. Ah, the green screen is giving me gangrene. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Wilco. So, that was very nice. And if you'd like me to do a dab in your honor, it's Dabs for Donation Friday. It's easy to do. There's clickable links in the text body of the video. You can go to moxnews.com, or there's clickable links in the chat. Hello, caller.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
All right, bro. How about you?
Doing all right. Just sitting here, chilling in the chat. It's a lot of stuff. So I guess just to ask you how your night going, man.
What's that? Oh, it's fine. I'm good. We got a couple donations. Could be worse.
Hey, I tried to donate, but I don't have a PayPal, man. So I'm trying to get it to you from my boy.
Right on. Well, that's very nice of you. We'll figure something out one of these days.
Yeah, I was subscribed to your Patreon through the last time I called in.
Right on. Well, that's very nice of you. I really appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, so I'm just a little bit lost about this weed issue we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is the right option to teach them which drugs are healthy and which ones are not.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it depends on the individual and the way they raise their children.
Well, you got to be realistic, okay? If you're not going to be realistic, then what's the point? I mean, you're just going to pretend like, oh yeah, you're a good boy and you get to go to heaven. Yeah, fuck that shit, man. Okay? The reality is that if your kids are in junior high school, in high school, there is drugs all around them, and if you don't prepare them by not with some Nancy Reagan just say no bullshit. You know, if you don't prepare them with what the reality is, that the only safe drug there is cannabis, and you will probably know people by the time you graduate high school who have OD'd and died from a bunch of other drugs.
I mean, even George Washington had a hemp farm.
It's George Washington. I believe it's either George Washington or Thomas Jefferson. There's a famous quote: "The best advice I can give the American farmer is to make the most of the hemp plant."
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let me take a bong hit real quick.
The whole thing is, look, I'm not trying to steer anybody wrong. And I'm not trying to say, that I know how to raise your kids better than you. What I'm saying is that, I'm trying to tell you the truth. And I'm trying to, because she asked me, right? She said, how do you approach this thing? And I said, with the truth. Be honest. Cannabis is the only safe drug there is. That's the facts, And if you say anything else, you put your kids' lives in danger.
Well, I'm gonna share a little story with you, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm from the hood, and I'm 43 years old, and I remember going through my little spazzes at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
My family were, weed heads, crackheads, lace blunts, and all that other stuff. So
yeah.
I guess it was on me to, because in some families you don't get that option. People don't tell they children, what is good or bad for them in any manner.
Yeah.
Whether that be life, whether that be, a car, a girl, or whatever.
Even brushing their teeth and shit like that.
They're taking a shit.
Yeah.
So, but with me, that's how it was. But I guess I learned by one time hitting a lace blunt.
Yeah.
And my thing was that shit made me feel like I was smoking weed. So I just continued to smoke weed because that shit was like, it wasn't no different. I guess everybody, body works different with drugs.
Yeah.
I just thank God that my body worked in a way that it was like, well, shit, this shit just like weed, so it don't make no sense of going out buying a rock and crushing it up and putting it over some weed. And you can just roll up a fucking blunt. You know what I mean?
I think you kind of ruined the flavor a little bit with that too.
I don't know. That's when I was like 16, bro.
Yeah.
I'm 43 now, so.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, good weed tastes really good, and the last thing you want to do is mess it up with something else,
Well, shit, back then it wasn't no fucking taste. It seemed like all the weed tastes the same. But I just want to call in and hit you with that, man, because it's and it was a lesson that I had to learn on my own. I mean, and like I said, I thank God that it wasn't a position into where it had me out there doing dumb shit that I be seeing people do.
Yeah, it's good that you learned that lesson early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Without question. I'm gonna go on and let you go, man.
All right, bro.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's I just think I think I just can't stand the idea of parents who don't teach their daughters that alcohol is the #1 date rape drug in the world. I can't stand.
yeah.
I mean, it's just so weird that you wouldn't make that really clear in their brain. And plus, it's like twice as damaging to women's bodies as it is men's bodies. They get cancer from it real bad. So.
But see, the thing is with that is, I guess in my case as well, when I was younger, my mother and father would rather party with me and get me drunk versus telling me how bad the shit was. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. My dad, he had a beer in his hand almost all the time, and he didn't have a single problem with me having a beer in my hand. But if he saw me with a joint in my hand, there was going to be serious problems.
Right. It's just but some parents that's been around to teach their kids, and you being able to experience that with him, he just was trying to teach you, but in his own little funny way. You know, and like I said, I never, my dad wasn't there. You know, I had a stepfather.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was pretty good. He was a pretty good guy, you know, but
Right
he was
on.
the one that was getting me drunk off the Mad Dog 2020 and
Talk about shit that'll make
Road.
that Mad Dog 2020. That'll make you see God too. That's some.
Oh man,
that it, like sneaks up on you out of nowhere, and you're like, I'm fucked.
Yeah. I mean, it's been many days as me being a little youngin', man, that I was fucked up. So, but I just want to say thank you again, man, for having the podcast and broadcasting, man, to try to get this channel out here. I mean, I told a couple of my friends, man, but
Cool.
they hard headed right now, so maybe they just need to.
It's all good. I really appreciate your help so much. I'm gonna do a dab for you. Right, I'm gonna play a video clip, and I'm gonna do a dab for you. Thanks so much, and it's really good to hear from you too.
Yeah, you know what? No, I just want to throw that thank you back at you, man. Thank you, because little do a lot of people know, man. You really on here risking, your livelihood and things that could come of truthers such as yourself. So, I really appreciate it, brother.
Right
really
on. Well, thank you very much. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm just trying to do the right thing,
No, you doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You doing exactly what God put you here for, brother. You're doing it, and there's a lot of people in here that believe in you. I believe in you, and like I said, I need you to not anytime soon, but get that donation page together. So, because like I said, I don't too much deal with like PayPal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't like having my information out there too much like that.
You want the GoFundMe page? Is that what you're talking about, or what kind of?
No, when I have went in to donate, it just gave me the option to do it through PayPal with the donations.
Okay.
So I'm already a Patreon member.
Right on. Well, thanks.
But in order to actually, without question, man, you deserve it.
How is it that you would feel okay about making a donation other than the Patreon? Is there some other place that you like?
I mean, I would generally, if I was to do it, I'd probably do it through a Cash App or something like that.
Oh, okay. What's that one called on the phone? I can't remember. But I hear you.
The one that I'm familiar with is Cash App.
Cash App.
So,
I think that's what Craig just says. Cash App. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll look into it. Thanks. I'll figure out because a lot of people are that way. They're like, I don't want to mess with the PayPal. Those people. I don't trust them. So
because I used to buy a lot of shit off eBay back in the days and using PayPal. Before eBay came out with that, we'll reimburse and all that other shit or whatever. I had a couple incidents with PayPal doing some shit they ain't had no business doing. I mean, they'll say that they had the authority to do it, but me, on the other hand, I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't. So
I've always been a little bit leery about the PayPal because I remember when they seized all of Julian Assange assets, and I was like, whoa. These guys could really fuck me over. Not that I have a bunch of money or anything, but I'm counting on that little bit of money that I do have, a whole lot. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We all do, man.
Yeah.
We all do. But it's one thing that I want to ask you to do before you close tonight is if you can, I don't know if you said you had a video about the stimulus.
Yeah, I do. I do.
But before you get off tonight, man, whether that be in 10 minutes or 10 hours from now, I would really appreciate it if you could play that for me.
Yeah, I'll play it right when we get off the phone. That'll give me a chance to heat up the bong and stuff and get a bong hit loaded for you.
Man, do your thing, man.
All right, bro.
Again, chat, hey, y'all have a good night. And Mox, man, have a blessed night, brother. And I'll see you tomorrow, I believe, right? You gonna
no, tomorrow's Saturday. I'm going to take a day off tomorrow.
Okay, I mean, all truthers need time, man. So
I don't want to overload the audience.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
Okay, talk to you soon, I hope.
All right. Oh yeah, without question.
All right, see ya.
All right, see you.
All right, I do have a video here about the COVID-19 stimulus relief bill that is being possibly voted on this evening in the House of Representatives and passed on to the Senate. But Nancy, and this is one of these things that I keep talking about like debating climate change. We don't need to debate climate change. And it's not because there's a definitive answer on it. It's because it's wasting our fucking time. We just need to ask, are humans polluting too much? And anyone that says no is full of shit. So, and then we resolve how we pollute less. We don't need to debate for 50 years. And what Nancy Pelosi's did is they stuck this $15 an hour minimum wage thing, national minimum wage, which I'm not saying shouldn't happen. I'm just saying the people need a stimulus check right now. And you don't need to fucking send it over to the Senate and then let them go, yeah, we're not going to do that. If we're sending it back to the House so that they can get that shit out of here. And then, fuck this shit, man. They're playing games with people's lives, and it's disgusting. And they act like they're doing it in the name of fighting for them. No, we're fighting for the $15 an hour. No, you're not. You're holding up people getting a check that they starving people getting money that they desperately need. That's what you're doing. You're not fighting for anybody except for yourselves, and we all know it. Here is clip number 10 on the stimulus check, on the stimulus bill. I'll be right back.
Taking a live look now at the U.S. Capitol, where the House could vote tonight on the latest COVID relief package. It is expected to pass, but could then hit a major stumbling block in the Senate over that $2 trillion price tag and the proposed $15 minimum wage that's included. Chief political correspondent Scott Thuman has the latest.
It's a popular idea, and polls show a majority of Americans want it. So why controversy over the president's COVID relief bill? Is that whopping $1.9 trillion price tag too much and jeopardizing America's financial future?
This is dramatically more money than is required at this particular juncture.
Former Ohio Governor John Cpac wrote the growing debt poses an increasing risk of fiscal crisis, lower income, higher interest payments, and a weakened ability to respond to other urgent problems. It's a bomb that could explode at any time.
I think the bomb has already exploded, and if we don't get money in people's pockets, get our small businesses up and running again, help our tourism industry, we're not going to get the economy growing and rolling and back to normal.
But the GOP complains somewhere around $1 trillion approved in previous aid is still unused. PolitiFact says that's half true. A large share from previous bills is still unspent, but much of it was okayed in late December, and it takes time to distribute, though it is unclear if more was approved than actually needed.
We're blowing out our national debt. None of this spending is driven by tax dollars. When President Barack Obama came into office, we had a $10 trillion national debt. When Donald Trump came in, it had doubled to nearly $20 trillion. And now at the start of the Biden administration, we're going to have a $30 trillion national debt.
Finding more balance may be a problem for another day.
You got to be concerned about debt. As a former mayor and governor, I get that. And I understand the position of those who are raising the concern. The danger to our economy is more profound if we do too little than if we do too much.
In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
A House vote on the stimulus bill is expected to happen tonight. You can count on KOMO to bring you live coverage as it happens right here on the air, on KOMO News Radio, and online at KOMOnews.com.
Let's see. You can count on marijuana. I know that. These people, again, they're playing games with this stimulus thing. It should just a check for the people. Again, I didn't get the first check. I didn't get the second check. I'm not going to get this check. But I am concerned about the people. And a check for the people should be something that we can just carve out of this giant bill that we can debate forever. We can just carve that check out for the people that need help right now and make that happen. And they don't do that. And why? Because this way they can postpone it months and months down the road. And then when they finally get it passed, they look like they're being generous. But the truth is that it should have been passed months ago. People should have got relief, and by now they should be pretty much passing, and months later they should be passing another bill for a check for the people, not a bunch of fucking stimulus garbage that we can debate. $15 an hour, no, just a check for people that are desperate, because the people didn't shut down this economy. The government shut down this economy. The people shouldn't be held responsible for the government making stupid fucking actions that hurt so many people. And these so-called representatives, which again, they don't give a damn about anyone in the working class. These so-called representatives could easily cut out just the part where the people get a check. They could even, it would be so easy, so simple, that they could go, everyone who's not making $200,000 a year this year gets a check. If you're making $200,000 a year, yeah, you can probably cut back a little bit and do just fine. You're not our priority. But if you make $150,000 a year, you should get a check. We don't have a problem with that. And I'm just using that as an example. I don't mean to cloud up the facts that they could do this for people. And it wouldn't be months and months and months of debate. It would be, let's make this happen. And, and if anybody gets in there to try and stick their foot in the way, they'd be like bombarded by the entire country. What the fuck are you doing holding up this check? If it was, Rand Paul saying, oh, well, a check to the people is just too much money, that he would be bombarded by like 3/4 of the country saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he'd be voted out of office very, very quickly. But when you have this check, when you have this bill that's all convoluted, and Kanye West gets millions of dollars in this new COVID stimulus bill. I played this for you last night. Kanye West and pretty much all celebrities get millions of dollars to bolster their security under the COVID-19 lockdown thing, whatever, and what? Kanye West is worth $1.3 billion. Okay, he doesn't need $1 million that comes out of your tax money. He does not need that. So again, and it would be easy for someone like Rand Paul to debate that fact forever. Kanye West, blah blah blah. It would be so easy. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens of things like this. So that's what they do. They send up, they make these bills which they know are never going to get passed, and then they debate it, and they debate it, and your stimulus check gets pushed months and months and months down the road. Fucking the people. Not showing any care to the people whatsoever. I don't care what corporations get. Okay? This, again, if you want to make small businesses your priority, but that's not what they want. They want to lump everything together so that they can have all these pet projects and all these other things get money, money, money that they never thought they'd get. And it's a free check from the government. Who's going to complain about that? Come on, we're giving you $1,400. Whoever gave you $1,400 for nothing? What are you complaining about? Kanye West needs millions of dollars a year for his security because of COVID-19, I guess. I just think that we deserve a lot better people than this. I see it as very simple to, it would be, again, it would be impossible for a senator to stand up and say, oh, we can't give the people another check. We can't give the people, but it's easy to stand up there and say, we can't give rich people, we can't keep giving rich people more money. We can't keep giving giant corporations more money. We can't keep doing that. But the people needing help, we the people, that's why we're here. We're here to help the people. So let's get this done, and then we can debate the other bullshit, but at least we helped some people. Right? That's not the kind of people we have in Congress. And that would be the kind of speeches you get out of me every day in Congress. Let's take care of the people. Why aren't we starting at infrastructure, which will create millions and millions of good paying jobs back and forth across the United States in every corner of our country? Why aren't we doing that? Every day I ask that question. You got fucking assholes up there talking about climate change every fucking day. Which, I'm not saying that climate change is not an important issue, but that debate's been going on for over 50 years. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's up, Mike? It's Brandon, man.
Hey, B. How you doing?
You know what? I just hopped online and I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. What's up, boss? What we talking about tonight?
I was saying I was just showing people a clip of the host at Cpac, at the Conservative Action Committee or whatever. He told people in the audience that they had to put their mask on, and he got like booed off the stage. So.
Well, you know that. Okay, you know that was a setup. But you know what though? I did watch the Ted Cruz portion.
Yeah.
And it was like an epic fail.
Huh. I played the Donald Trump Jr. segment on the show earlier.
Like the one with Ted Cruz, he told a joke about Cancun. He said the weather was better in Orlando than Cancun.
Oh man.
And and it got like no laugh. Like, dude, Ted Cruz is fucked in Texas. He's not gonna get reelected for that shit.
Well,
and then he goes out there and makes a joke about it.
Yeah.
You know, look, Mock. There's something about leaders that a lot of leaders don't know. So this is a one-on-one lesson for leaders who's listening to the show, including the FBI and the CIA. Because you got it like that, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't eat before your soldiers. You never eat before your soldiers.
I know. I've heard you say that before, Brandon.
Yeah.
I totally get it. You want to make sure that your people are taken care of, and that's what
Shit was funny though. Like to see Ted Cruz try to go that route, but it is what it is. But let me ask you this: what spin do you think Trump's going to say when he speaks on Sunday? It's Sunday he speaks, right?
Yeah. He's gonna, I think he's gonna come out. He's just gonna be Donald Trump. He's gonna be the same guy that he's been again and again.
Yeah.
But he's gonna talk a lot about the election. He's gonna talk about, traitors like Liz Cheney. The Donald Trump Jr. clip that I played earlier was him going after Liz Cheney. He used her like a whipping post, man.
Powerhouse. Going after a powerhouse like the Cheney. Damn, but you know what, though? Trump beat the Bushes. So, you know what? That's what's up. I mean, if you think about it, it's a good game plan. It's totally against the establishment. It makes a lot of sense.
I think it's great, dude. I'm really glad that he's speaking. I keep seeing these people all day long asking other members of the Republican Party, politicians, is it appropriate for Donald Trump to speak at Cpac? And, all I can think is, he's the leader of these people. Of course it's fucking appropriate. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You know what? I had some neighbors over last weekend, and we talked about it, and we all agreed. And, their political affiliation, I don't really know, but pretty much we all agreed upon that Trump shouldn't be censored as bad as he has. I mean, it's your platform, suspend them, whatever, right? And bring them back on. But I really want to see what he has to say. But the only thing that troubles me the most, Mike, is the disinformation. Saying someone is lying to you is one thing, but someone telling you half of a story, to me, is disinformation. And I think that's what he's going to do again, like he's been doing since he's been in office.
Disinformation. I think I would call it misinformation. You know, it's because that's what happening is people are being misled, they're being misinformed, and it's being done purposefully, and you're gonna get it from every politician, and no matter what their fucking label is, D, R, I, you know, it's just all the same. I would expect it's like you know how there used to be this radio guy and he would say and then there's the other side of the story or something like that, you know, and I think that there's this other side of the story that people use, and that's like complete and utter bullshit. You know, it's like, oh, smoking causes cancer, and then there's the other side of the story.
Yeah, and it's but like I had some other people over today, and well, my wife works with you know, his wife, and they just had a baby, so they're on their leave, and they stopped by and so, you know, and brought the, you know, their little daughter over, and she's only a few weeks old or whatever, and we hung out and we talked about it, and he's actually an immigrant that came to America on one of those policies because of like being the father was abusive to the wife and the kids or whatever. Whatever the policy was. So he falls into that Dreamer Act, and he's waiting for his citizenship. He hired a lawyer. He's been here forever. Never did nothing wrong. You know, he was worked in law enforcement and everything, right? And it's sad because his older brother got deported for a DUI a few years back to Mexico, and within 3 days he was murdered.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, so, like, and then his stepfather paid a jackal or whatever to sneak his remains back in America to bury him here in Missouri.
Wow.
It's an amazing story, you know, when this guy tells me. You know, and he's like 25 years old. You know, he's a puppy when it comes to the world. You know, I'm 45. And I'm like, damn, like, that's a rough life, you know. And but the good thing is Trump's gonna have a platform, and I think the world's gonna listen. But what I want to see is them acknowledge the reason why he did not get reelected. That's it. You know, like
when you say who acknowledge, who do you want to see acknowledge what?
Well, I would say, you know, like not at the Cpac, but maybe a personal interview where, like, Trump says, okay, no, where like he acknowledged that he went a little too far with John McCain for Arizona. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and just stuff like that. You know, where he's, because I'm a veteran, so, you know, I'm going to send that realm of it. You know, he talks a lot of shit about he was smarter than generals.
It seems inappropriate, you know, to talk about a POW when you're a draft dodger. You know. Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah. Boom. So, you know, but if he can come out and say, hey, listen, you know, I take it personal. That's just the type of guy I am. I'm an alpha male, so he barked and I bit. You know, I can understand that. But I don't think he'll ever apologize. I just think he's gonna be an angry ass dude, bro, like a real angry guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we need to see that.
Look, you don't have to tune in to see it. So, you know, it's not a matter of there's a lot of people who really want to see it, and so it's a matter of it's like people who say, you know, that he shouldn't be able to run in 2024. Well, there's 70 million people who want to vote for him. So, you know, it's not so much about Donald Trump as you telling 70 million people, Americans, that they can't vote who they want to vote for. And that seems not, you know, that seems inappropriate.
Yeah, you know, but I wish that everybody would be on the big boy program. You know how it is. Like, typically you go, you know, you order a burger and fry, and when you get your food and you drive home and you open it up, there's a pack of ketchup and mustard in there. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone's going to be honest. Is what I'm getting at. Because companies don't want to waste the ketchup package or the mustard package. Back in the day, they didn't mind because making the customers happy.
Right, they throw a whole handful. They throw a whole handful of those things in. Back in the day.
I just hope Trump just is honest. If he's not, then I'm gonna tell you, Mike, we're gonna have 4 more years of crazy ass bullshit on the news. Going to be a lot of animosity, and it's not going to be good.
Well, as long as they're not talking about COVID-19, I'm pretty good with anything on the news at this point, Brennan. But he's going to talk. He's going to come out and he's going to talk about all the fraud in the election, the way he sees it, and he's going to. And I think that's primarily what he's going to focus on. What I've heard again and again and again about the so-called impeachment trial was that he wanted it to focus on the election fraud, and his lawyers refused to do that.
Yeah, but let me ask you this though: what benefit does he get out of just telling lies?
Well, because then all the people, it's like this victim culture, right? I was victimized by this people, and then all these people rush to make sure that you know that you're standing shoulder to shoulder with all these other people. We support you. Don't worry. We'll make sure that you stand strong, even if you can't do it on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when it just listen, he was on Fox News. It's just like being on MTV going to BET. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's like he keeps downgrading. And that's where I feel that he, at the end of the day, is just an attention holder. He needs attention, and he's going to go smoke up everybody's ass for no reason, and think there's not going to be some form of repercussion.
Like you said, I'm sure you're right that there's going to be every news channel talking about him for quite some time. And yes, that's exactly what he wants. He loves that. And that's probably why 70 million people voted for him, was because people are constantly saying his name, Yeah,
but you know what? Listen, like I've had no problem with politics. I really want to hear what he has to say. But if he just goes in the realm that he was robbed and cheated, that don't make no damn sense.
Well, but see, it's not. But if he phrases it right, it's not that the election was stolen from him. It was stolen from all these 70 million voters who wanted him to win. They're the ones who got ripped off, really, Brandon.
Well. Let me ask you this: what about him not finding out why he lost? Maybe it was the attacking the military the way he did. Maybe it was his lie. Okay, because a lot of women voted for Trump, but they didn't know that grab him by the pussy shit was real, bro, until Stormy Daniels and everything else, and maybe a lot of women didn't vote for him because of that.
Well, I think that it's hard to believe that a lot of women voted for him in the first place. Except for the fact that, the Democrats ran one of the most despised figures in American political history. Hillary Clinton. They tried to jam Hillary Clinton down all of our throats, and the people went, no, get that shit away from me.
People didn't show up. That's what happened.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I think anybody could have beat Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah, fucking Papa Smurf could have beat her ass. Now.
Yeah.
Shit. She was all fucked up.
People hate her. And she couldn't even get through. Yeah, she fucking collapsed on the 9/11 fucking thing. She was like, she's not a healthy person. And people despise her. And she got so many skeletons. So many skeletons in her closet.
I think Donald Trump was on cocaine the 4 years he was in office.
Well, you know, whatever. I mean, he's the most powerful man in the world. It's like, oh, I think Monica Lewinsky was blowing fucking Bill Clinton in the office. He's the most powerful man in the world. He should have had 2 Monica Lewinskys blowing him in the fucking Oval Office, okay?
I don't think 2 could have handled him.
Maybe not. And, but you know what I mean? It's like I don't do cocaine, but I do marijuana, and you know I don't. You know, I mean I look at Donald Trump Jr. and I think the same thing. I think that boy is on some drugs right there, and I ain't talking about
you know what?
weed.
I've never really heard him like talk or gave him like any entertainment, but yeah, he's all on board with. You know, it's like, you know, just a kid. He's trying to be like his daddy or trying his best. But every time he opens his mouth, it's like, you know, the toilet flushing. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he may break some good points. But, yeah, he's just riding a roller coaster, man.
Yeah, that guy, I mean, that guy is clearly crazy. You seen that girl that he hangs out with?
Oh, the Fox News girl.
Yeah, that fuck. I mean, who does anybody think that she's attractive? I'm just wondering.
She's older than him. She's in her 50s.
Yeah.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah, I don't understand how. I mean, what is it? What is the attraction there? That is. I mean, that's never looked good to me.
Daddy telling him what to do.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't get it. That's for sure.
But you know who's really been quiet is Kushner and Trump's daughter.
Yeah, well, that Kushner guy, he's
they've been real quiet for like 2 years, man.
Yeah.
Real quiet. You know, and I think they're like, this shit get out of control. You know, and his son, well, that one son, Junior, he ain't got nothing going on for him. You know, he divorced his wife and started messing with her, and she's 50. He can get like a 21-year-old Brazilian chick. Or a Brazilian boy, whatever he likes.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't get it. All I'm saying, I'm not, to each their own. I'm just saying, I don't get it. I've never found that woman attractive. She is, you know, very mannish.
She looked like Skeletor off of He-Man. If you really look at her at an angle.
Yeah.
She kind of looks purple color, and she's real bony. You know what I mean?
I just don't get it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but she's fuckable.
I guess. Not with my dick.
I know that's right. Listen. Just take it to a popsicle stick. It'll fit.
I don't know, man.
I know, right? Why, Mops? I just, man, damn. We were just clowning. All right. I know, right? Like, I never thought this way. But all right, boss. Well, look, man, I'll holler at you later, okay? Take care, man.
Okay.
Great show.
All right, it's good to hear from you.
And I hope the listeners enjoyed it.
I'll talk to you soon, I hope.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our buddy 2 Bronze Star Brandon. And it's always good to hear from him. I have a couple of videos left for you guys tonight. I'm going to play this one real quick, and I'll be right back. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. keep it bright side.
There's my beautiful baby down by the river. Hi, my beautiful baby. You're such a beautiful baby. I'm glad you came in to join us. Everybody's like, where's Rufus? Where's the Boo Bear? They miss you when you're not here, buddy. They do. We all do. I miss you every time I don't see you. I'm like, where's my Boo Bear? Where's my Boo Bear? Okay. I have a couple more videos. I do. I have videos. I have videos. But this is a call-in show, so if you want to call, we're running low on the videos. So, and it's teethy brushing day, so I gotta go and brush the dog's teeth again. Should have been yesterday, but I didn't get to it. But I gotta get to it today, because I'm not gonna let it go more than a couple days. It's teethy brushing day. That's your favorite, huh? They're good babies. I say, come get your teeth brushed. And they go right where they're supposed to go. Do it now! Are you fucking with me? Don't fuck with me. I played the COVID stimulus plan, right? I played that one, didn't I? All right, so I am way down on videos here. Let's see. I have this video. This one is real, okay? Don't think this is fake.
Trump won the election. Among the suspect's possessions, this is real, a white privilege card. I want you to take a look at this. It's a fake white privilege credit card. Subtitle, Trump's everything. The card holder, scot-free. With 2 T's. Scot-free is actually spelled with 1 T, but, 2 T's on that card. That one piece of evidence, an insight into the man's state of mind, that he could get away with anything because of his skin color. His lawyer saying this to CNN. This was a guy simply following the advice and the commentary of the President of the United States. So tonight, the acting chief of the Capitol Police proposing security fencing erected around the Capitol in the wake of the deadly insurrection stay up permanently. Also, police say a man arrested near the Capitol was armed with a gun and 20 rounds of ammunition, and a list of lawmakers' names. The House Speaker Nancy Pelosi responding to concerns about...
I like food. Okay, so again, I have one video left. So, and I don't know if you noticed on there, it said Nancy Pelosi security. All these people in Congress who are insisting that they keep the fence in place and the National Guard in place are all receiving extra pay right now. Every single member of Congress is receiving extra pay in order to pay for added security, which they don't do. So it's, of course they want to keep the heightened security level in place as long as possible because they're getting like double the amount of pay that they usually get. Of course they do. And there's no real threat. So they don't really have to hire security, do they? So, again, this is the fucked up government that we have. We deserve better. I know that we can do better. There are actually good people in this country. One of these days, we might actually have some of them representing us. That would be really nice. I could actually feel good about that. I'm going to play one more video, and then that's your last chance to call. So if you guys want to call, I'm going to play one more video, and then I'm all out of videos. So I came to play videos and take phone calls and do fat dabs. And we're not getting any phone calls, and I'm just about out of videos. I don't run out of fat dabs, but I'm just about out of videos, so you know.
Well, staying with the Middle East, and President Biden launched the first public military action of his administration on Thursday with airstrikes in eastern Syria, close to the border with Iraq. The strikes targeted facilities being used by Iranian-backed militant groups in Syria. At least 17 members of the militias are reported to have been killed. The strikes are in retaliation for recent rocket attacks like this that the U.S. says were carried out by pro-Iranian groups on U.S. troop locations in Iraq. An attack in Erbil last week killed a civilian contractor for the U.S. military and injured 6 others. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin told reporters the U.S. was being deliberate about its approach.
We're confident in the target that we went after. We know what we did. And we're confident that that target was being used by the same Shia militia that conducted the strikes.
Well, for more on the U.S. strike, we're joined now by Hagar Kamali, who was Director for Syria at the National Security Council under President Obama. Thanks so much for being with us tonight, Hagar. So are these airstrikes against the Iranian militias a very carefully targeted attempt by the Biden administration to punish Iran's proxies without going so far as to undercut their enthusiasm for reviving that Iran nuclear deal?
Absolutely. You said it best yourself. This was meant to be a very strong, deliberate, and I found quite decisive move on the part of the Biden administration to respond in kind to exactly what happened, right? This is Cpac, Hezbollah. This is not an organization that we haven't gone after before. President Trump did a very similar move a year and a half ago, I'm sure, as you remember. And so what President Biden is trying to say is, this is not the type of activity we're going to tolerate. Yes, there's been a change in president. That doesn't mean that we're going to approach things in a very weak manner. And this is, when we have a problem with activity, if you're going to go after one of our service members or contractors, then we're going to respond forcefully. And I thought it was a great move. The thing in particular that I liked about it was how decisive it is. And I find the timing, given the effort to pursue Iran negotiations, is particularly interesting because I think it helps the United States in having a leg up.
And yet, Iran has vowed to avenge the death of General Soleimani, hasn't it, Hagar? So the Iranian-backed militias are going to continue to be a problem, aren't they, for the Biden administration?
Yes, well, they will continue to be a problem. They have continued to be a problem now for many years. They have promised to avenge for the death of General Qasem Soleimani, but they have not really succeeded in that, right? So there have been plots that have been foiled. For example, they wanted to target the U.S. ambassador in South Africa. That didn't end up working out. There have been other things that things have ended up foiling and not working out. They're going to remain to be a problem with their nefarious behavior in the region, supporting terrorism, supporting proxies. That's obviously a problem when you have U.S. interests across the region, right? Whether it's embassies or military bases and such. And I think that's why it's so critical that President Biden, from the get-go, right? He's only been in office for a month now, that from the beginning, he set the stage and say, this is not activity that we're going to ignore. This is something that if we see, we're going to go after and respond equally.
And when you see how the Biden administration isn't sanctioning the Saudi crown prince, despite his role in that grisly murder of Jamal Khashoggi, what do you read into that vis-a-vis the U.S. attempt to revive the Iran nuclear deal?
Sure. I don't know that it's tied directly to the Iran nuclear deal, the decision they took with whether or not to sanction the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The way I viewed that, actually, having been on the other side of crafting sanctions regimes and deciding whether or not to target leaders, it's a very big decision. I remember being on the other side of when we sanctioned President Assad of Syria, and it was a very long and very deliberate discussion that took months, and it was something that we waited to do. We waited to see how he would behave on certain things.
I can't stand looking at that woman talk anymore. You see how she talks? She talks like this. She talks like this. She talks like this. It was really strange for me. But I was tired of watching it. One of the things I keep hearing on as far as this Joe Biden's first military action bombing Syria, there's a couple of points that I keep hearing that are bullshit talking points and stuff I don't understand. Like, what I don't understand is it says they dropped 7 bombs in Syria, right? 7 bombs, taking out 9 different locations. I'm trying to figure out how 7 bombs take out 9 different locations. That doesn't compute in my brain. Maybe someone will explain it to me later. 7 bombs dropped into Syria, taking out 9 locations. And they talk about, it being a totally successful operation. I mean, and the video footage that they were showing there, they said a missile attack just like this. But it wasn't this missile attack where they showed out the blown out building and stuff. They didn't say, they said a missile attack like this. They didn't say this is the missile attack, which means they could be showing shit from 2005 in Iraq, of a real building that got really blown up. And it was kind of like that. Kind of like that. Kind of like, how the FBI told us that the guy that they were interviewing in Florida pulled a samurai sword off the wall and started attacking 11 cops. And they had to shoot him in the back 7 times. Yeah, that makes sense. So again, totally successful, and you see again the fake video, the fake pictures, and I keep hearing them talk about the reason that they have to do this is because the U.S. has interest in that area. The U.S. has interest in that area, right? The U.S. has interest in Syria. The U.S. has interest in Iraq. The U.S. has interest, and I think probably Iran has some interest in that area. Iran probably has some interest in all these areas where the U.S. has injected themselves into and somehow claim to be the dominant force in the region, bombing whoever they want willy-nilly, regardless if they've cleared it through Congress or not. That's the kind of guy that Joe Biden is. I'm sorry, I think George W. Bush, and I think Barack Obama, and then I think Joe Biden, right? Because Barack Obama being the 3rd and 4th term of George W. Bush, as we heard again and again and again during his presidency, and at least if you were listening. And then today I actually saw a cartoon where they were saying that Joe Biden is the 5th. He was saying that Joe Biden is the 3rd and 4th term of Barack Obama, but he can't be the 4th term of Barack Obama because he's not going to be reelected, or at least he's not going to make it to 2024, would be my guess. But because Camilla 2022, that's all I'm saying. Because that's so much better. At any rate, American interest in that area. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure Iran has a lot of interest in that area too, and that they probably don't want America, the United States, fucking with their interest. So I just see this as this bullshit propaganda media stuff again, but I wanted to point out these talking points because this is something you're going to see again and again. Totally successful. You watch. You see any of these stories about the Biden bombing of Syria, his very first military operation as commander-in-chief, because there's lots more to come. He waited how long? A month? 2 months? How long did he wait? A little over a month before he had felt the need to murder someone. Good work, Joe. Murder more people in my name. I love it. I can't get enough. I want to feel fucking blood and guts and bits of brain all over my face and my teeth. All over me, Joe. Just keep up the good work, man. Can't get enough of that. Right? Isn't that the way America is? Because that's the way America acts. So, that's the way most of the world views America. They can't get enough blood splashed all over them. We need a 3rd and 4th term of the drone king. We need a 5th and 6th term of George W. Bush, who started all this bullshit. Yeah, that's what we need. Good plan, Joe Biden. Good fucking plan. I hope it really bites him in the ass. As hard as anything has ever bitten anybody in the ass. So, I'm all out of videos. We are all out of callers. I'm not out of dabs. I don't run out of dabs. The Boo Bear is ready to get his teethies brushed. You ready to get your teethies brushed? Not really. It's too bad. It's teethy brushing day, buddy. And I'm also ready for some food. So, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back on Monday, same Mox time, same Mox channel. And I hope we see you there, because it's always better when you're here. In fact, it's completely meaningless without you, so you know. So until then,
here's a suggestion. Just don't be
cool.
a-holes. Here's a suggestion.
One of
Just
these
don't
days,
be a-holes.
this war
Here's a
is gonna
suggestion.
end.
Just don't be a-holes.
Stay cool till
Here's
then.
a suggestion.
She's a bitch, right? 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 She's a bitch, right?
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of